Hey, are you ready to go? It's that little gay talk show. Hey, you bitches and hoes, it's that little gay talk show.
All tea, all shade. Baby, it's Texas made.
It's that little gay talk show.
Hey, everybody. I'm Joel Tatum of your host for that little gay talk show. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking in general. We're going to be talking about the fact that the show's going to take a little bit of a sabbatical, a little bit of a break. We're going to go on hiatus, all those fancy terms for, bitch, I'm tired. So we're going to take a little bit of a break for a little while, and I just wanted to inform our listeners that don't worry. You have 110 episodes to listen to. I think it's 110. Is it 110? Well, you have over 100 episodes to listen to. So unless you have listened to all of those episodes and you're going, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We've had some issues of late. We've had some discussions. Things have turned fiery and ugly. We've had, I lost my co-host, Miss Randy, again. I didn't lose her not once, but twice. And so now we're trying to figure out what direction we're going to go into. And I'm going to tell you the story of how that went down later on in the episode. But this is not going to be a long episode. Don't expect that whole hour and 40-something minutes, 30-something minutes, what have you, because one person talking for 1 hour and 30 minutes, yeah, that's... Is that a podcast? I think that might be a podcast. Who knows? So we're just going to get down to the nitty gritty. The thing is that after 2 years, almost 2 years, and watching the show have its ups and downs, watching the show pretty much stay kind of flat, there was a level of frustration that I felt. Here I was starting a dream. Let me tell you something. When it comes to starting a dream, you really got to be prepared to start a dream. It's a lot harder than you think, and it takes a lot more work than you think. And I think with any dream, when you have goals that go along with that dream, one of the main, I think, and I've learned this, and probably one of the reasons why I will be taking a sabbatical for a while, is the fact that you have to work on the one thing that you need to work on most when you decide that you're ready to start doing the thing that you have wanted to do your entire life. When you have decided that, hey, I'm ready to do this, let me just sit down and figure out what I'm going to do. I think the one important thing that I've learned so far is the fact that you need to work on yourself first. I think that's the most important goal in that mindset of, hey, I have a dream to be a whatever, a writer, a doctor, a social media influencer, a porn star, whatever it is that you want it to be. I'm 52 years old, and I'm starting a dream here. I don't know where that dream's going to go. I don't know how far this dream is going to go. I don't even know if I even want this dream to continue. So in the time that I'll be taking off, I'll be thinking about all of those things. I will be spending some time away from, there have been too many voices all around me, and I need just some quiet time. Just some time. So I will be when I mean taking a break, I mean I'm taking a break. I mean, I do not need to hear all those voices right now while I try to figure out all this stuff. So I mean, when I'm taking a break, I mean I'm taking a break. Let's get into what happened with Miss Randy and I. If you listened to last week's episode, first of all, one of the reasons to take a break is to really sit down and start to think that maybe you have a problem. And the problem being, for me, is, I went without alcohol for a long time, decided to have alcohol on the show one time, and it completely busted everything. I went into topics that I was told I shouldn't have gone into, but I did. Do I regret it? Well, we'll get further into that. We'll answer that question later on. But for the most part, that led to some bad feelings. And that led to Miss Randy deciding to quit wholeheartedly. By the way, this also means that Miss Randy and I will no longer be friends at all. I don't have any hard feelings towards her, and I don't want anyone out there to think that she did anything wrong. She did not do anything wrong. What I did was I did something wrong. The first time she quit, I should have just let it stay where it was. It was a mistake to bring her back on the show for a second time, because I was looking for something that she could not provide. And I felt like, when you look at it like this, you look at it like, it's like going back to an ex-boyfriend. You knew why you broke up the first time, but the fact that you decided to try it again, knowing that ex-boyfriend was still the same person that they were and that they were not going to change, it makes you feel kind of foolish. But like I said, I know how this sounds, and I don't want anyone out there. And I know that there are certain people who are going to be like, Joel, I can't believe, why would you even say that? And blah, 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 blah. Because I want to get it off my chest. And I think that it's good to get certain things off your chest. I have no ill will toward Miss Randy at all. When I say that we shouldn't have gotten back together, what I should mention is the fact that Miss Randy has an idea of what she wants for her life. And I had an idea of what I wanted for her life. And those two ideas didn't mesh. It was unfortunate because had I realized that before and been brave enough to say, you know what, let's just move on to the next thing and see what happens. I wasted my time, I wasted her time, and I wasted your time as an audience because, I had expected a brighter future for the show, and I still do expect a brighter future for the show. Where I'm going to take the show, who knows? It's still that little gay talk show, so it's still going to be me being gay and having a good time and everything else. I don't want to lose any more friendships over it. I don't want to lose my head over it. I don't want to lose my roof over my head. This is a very expensive process. I started off with a computer and a microphone, and the sound quality was terrible, and then I upgraded and I upgraded and I upgraded, and now I have quality equipment that works fantastic. I mean, fantastic equipment, but doing this is expensive, and I put a lot of time and effort into it, and I put so much time and effort into it that I forgot to relax, rest, and think about what I wanted to do. I am just tired, and I do not want to give up on this podcast in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to give up on who I am in any shape or form. And I know that we do have a small audience out there. And like I said, I just want to let the audience know that, when you bury yourself every week, you really start to look at yourself really hard. And thanks to this show, I've really started to look internally at who I am and where I was and where I'm going. And parts of me are thrilled. There's nothing like a Wednesday morning when I wake up and I'm excited about what to do for a show today. What are we doing today? What are we going to talk about today? How much fun are we going to have today? And it's such a wonderful feeling every Wednesday to know that on Thursday I'm going to put out an episode, and then we're going to take a break for a day or two, and then we're going to think about what we're going to do next week. And, I never take a break. I'm always thinking about what we're going to do as soon as the show is over with. So, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I do want to apologize. I've had an upper respiratory infection for the last couple of days. And, when you have an upper respiratory infection, ooh, sorry, it can knock you on your ass a little bit. And, I quit smoking, and I've now been smoke free for about 35 days. And it is the happiest I've ever been. I've actually accomplished a goal. I don't call myself a failure. What I call myself is, I tried it and I'm done. Tried it. It didn't work. I'm done. I'm moving on to something else. I'm one of those guys who, you try something for a little bit and then you're like, it's too hard. I don't want to do this. I'm done. And for some people it works because you have to find, they always tell you have to find your thing, your niche. And sometimes you have to go through some things to do that. But I felt like that had become too much of a thing for me. And I wanted to finally have something to grasp onto that I could put work and effort into. And that's why that little gay talk show has come into being. And I've worked with some amazing people on the show. Miss Pinky, Carlos, Elliot, all the rest. And I have to say that I have enjoyed working with them a lot. It has caused friction, a little bit of animosity. I want what I want so hard. And sometimes when you want something so hard, you tend to push people away sometimes, and you tend to, want to stand your ground. I've been told I have control issues, which is funny because if I were to sit here and have a podcast on the history of my life, control issues would not be one of them because I've never been in control of anything. Someone has always been in control for me. I've allowed people to be in control. I've always been the Robin to some Batman. In every aspect of from my friendships to my love life to everything. I've never really stepped to the front of the line, so to speak. I've always been the one behind. And I enjoyed that for quite some time, but I really didn't enjoy that for quite some time. The times when you are the Robin in that kind of relationship, you really get tired of being told what to do and how to do it and when to do it and that kind of thing. So when you start to stand out as your own person, then you get weird looks from people who might sometimes pat you on the head and go, look at that. So cute. Trying to be an adult. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. I got this. I'll take control for it. You don't know what you're doing. So, yeah. So when you finally find something that you want to make 100% yours and you fight to make that 100% yours, you make mistakes. You make a lot of mistakes. Oh, wow. I have made so many mistakes. It is ridiculous how many mistakes I've made since I've started doing this show. And I have lain in bed under covers because of the many mistakes I have made while doing this show. So I want to say that, and I know this sounds odd, I've actually kind of enjoyed it. Because, like I said, I'm one of those people, when I do try something and it gets hard, I just go, you know what, we're done. because I want to avoid any mistakes, which is ironic because you still end up making mistakes anyway. So at least I'm putting work and effort into something, and I'm watching and making mistakes and trying to learn from them, and sometimes not learning from them. Hence the second time around with Randy. And like I said, I don't want anyone in the world to blame Randy for anything. I don't want to come out as thinking that Randy was at fault. I was at fault for it. I was at fault simply because I wanted something that I knew couldn't happen, but I wanted it so hard that I was willing to overlook certain things. And I wish Randy all the happiness in the world. I really do. I really do think that the life that he has chosen for himself is going to make him very happy. I think that when I latch on to people who I see with potential, I tend to push too hard, way too hard, and it pushes them away sometimes. But I also would like to say that in I'm not going to say in my defense. Well, fuck it. In my defense, I think I know now after this debacle with Randy, I think now I know why I do it. And it really is. It was the thing that woke me up in the middle of the night. I now know why I push other people who I think are super talented and all this other stuff, way more talented than me, why I continue to do that. And to the point where it has driven people away is because I don't see that in myself. And if I'd taken all the effort that I've put into other people and put that into myself, wow, the places I would have gone. And now I think it might be time to start putting that energy into myself and into this show. I think one of my personal goals has been met. I am no longer a smoker. I want to reiterate how much I smoked for 30 years. For 30 years. So to give up something that I've done for 30 years, to give up a habit that I've done for 30 years, is very hard. It's not the easiest thing to do. There are still times like I just ate a sandwich like half an hour before the show, and I still crave the cigarette, which doesn't happen that often, and it's getting a lot less and less. And I think the only reason I craved the cigarette was because I ran into a friend at the grocery store, and she asked me if I was still not smoking, and I told her I was very proud to say that I'm 35 days now not smoking. And I think the thought just got implanted into my head. So it really wasn't a craving. It was more of a thought. So the thing is that that is one goal that I feel like that I finally accomplished something, that I was successful at something. Success doesn't come for me. I am one of those human beings that, hey, as long as you have a roof over your head and the bills are paid, you should be counting your blessings, because not many people have those things. The thing is that a lot of people have those things. A lot more people have those things more than you know. Even with all the things that are going on in the world, there are far less poor people in the world than there were 20 to 25 years ago. So people are having roofs over their heads, and they are succeeding on small levels. But success is measured by your own personal thing, I think. And I'm starting to understand that a little bit more. Maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. Maybe I'm not trying to. I always said that when I started the show that I wasn't looking for fame and fortune. But maybe I should be honest and say maybe I am looking for fame and fortune. Maybe, like I said, taking some time away from the show would make me really be honest about what I want. and where I want to go with the show. And I think that as humble as I'd like to stay, I'd like for my dreams to be just as big as anybody else's dreams. And I'm willing to put the work into it. So I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. That is, that's pretty much going to happen. I'm going to make so many mistakes. But I just don't, I just try what I can and do what I can every day. And that's all I can do. So I wanted to get into a couple of things that I have learned. Like I said, your dreams are what you make of them. I watched a person who went from homeless to a wife, a kid, a roof over their heads, and the happiest that he could possibly ever be. I've watched a person who started off as one thing, graduated from college, wanted to be a chef, tried his hand at it, then wanted to try other things, and now he's doing job number 15. Just trying to figure out his way. Has a wife, 2 kids, doing their thing. So everybody has to find their own thing. Sometimes just going to work every day and coming home is something I think a lot of people don't get this and don't understand this. Sometimes the simplest things are exactly what a lot of people want. People just want to be simple. They don't want all the complications. They just want to have a home. They want to have someone to love. They want to have they want to be able to retire. They want to be able to do those things. And I want to say that we should applaud that. We really should applaud that, because not everybody is going to be a superstar. Not everybody's going to be a successful CEO. Not everybody is going to be a success at whatever grand thing that they want to do. We all keep hoping for the grandest things, but I think success is how you measure it, really. What makes you happy every day? What brings you joy every day? So I think that we keep trying for all these lofty goals, and I think the only goal that we should try for is the thing that makes us happy. And this truly, truly, truly makes me happy. Now, it's also opened myself up to a lot more criticism, because I have opinions that may not be popular with a lot of people. I think I'm going to get this out of the way. We had 2 episodes where we talked about religion, and one of them was not intentional. That was not something that I had brought up. And the other one was from my point of view. And I think, especially on this one, especially on the last episode, which, like I said, caused a huge rift between Randy and I, is Randy is a devout Christian, and that is who he is, and I applaud that. I, however, have a problem with the idea that your thing needs to be my thing. And I have never believed in that in any way, shape, or form. We can be friends, but your thing does not need to be my thing. I am an atheist. I am agnostic. I have no problem with saying those things. I find the idea of being gay and black in a world where religion is the thing. I don't understand why me as a black person or me as a gay person would want Christianity in their lives. Christianity is an awful, awful thing. It has, look at the world that we live in. And by the way, let me stop everybody there. I'm going to stop everybody here. I'm going to bring in the other religions as well, with maybe the exception of Buddhism. I don't have a problem with Buddhism, or even Wiccans. I don't really have a problem with those. I mean, I just feel like those are like those are harmless and it's all about self-development and all those other things. But I think Christianity and Islam and religions that are harmful, they are harmful. They have, we're in an environmental mess. We're in a mess when it comes to race. We're in a mess when it comes to our economy. We're in a mess when it comes to everything. And it's all due to religion. And I don't understand why, as a gay man, I look at other gay men and women. And by the way, do not have a problem with you being whatever religion that you want to be. Do not have a problem with it. What I have a problem with is that when I express my opinions, I'm being told not to express my opinions. So while I allow you to express your opinions, and that's really, I'm not going to get too much into it. I am what I am. And if you do have a problem with it, that's your issue, not mine. I would like to go into further with that in future episodes. I would like to have people of religious faiths who are gay and lesbian and the such on the show so that we can talk about it and focus on it. But from my point of view, I'm never going to change on that position. I have no reason to. When I look at the world the way it is, I have no reason to believe in anything. I really do not. I was a humanist for the longest time because I believe that if mankind got itself in trouble, then mankind needs to get itself out of trouble. If there were an invisible being, let's take it from maybe the Judeo-Christian point of view, and even our point of view from Islam as well. If there is a being that supposedly controls everything, doing a pretty bad job. Probably shouldn't created humans. Probably should have left the world in the hand of animals because human beings are the worst. So, so the idea that, religion being used as an excuse to do the most harm to everything has really, really gotten me to the point where I have no reason for it. I don't understand people who do. Like I said, you got yourself into your mess, get yourself out of it. And that's the way it is. For some people, and like I said, I'm trying to have more of an understanding, and I'm trying to be more empathetic. There are some people in the world who think that they need something in their lives to give them hope that makes them feel like that they should wake up that gives them a reason to wake up every morning and do the thing. And if that brings you joy, then you should have that joy every day. But when that joy starts to interfere with my joy, then we have a problem. Because as Randy said in a past episode, you pray on your own time. You take care of you. Don't take care of me. I'm just fine. Whatever happens to me is for me. And I feel like that in our society, when I'm watching ridiculous arguments over a Super Bowl halftime, this is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. We have had Super Bowl. Every year there's some kind of controversy about the Super Bowl. And this year you have two Latina women who are killing it at a halftime show, and here we go with their outfits are too scantily clad. It was too political. It was this and that, blah, 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 blah. You kind of had the option of changing the channel if you wanted to. Now I get to hear all this on all the social medias about how we have lost our way. We're no longer Christian. We were founded on Christian values. We weren't founded on Christian values. I'm going to say this again. This country was not founded on Christian values. It's basic history, guys. I don't understand why I feel like I need to continue to kowtow to people who don't seem to understand or pick up a book and read American history. I don't understand that. But I'm not going to get into it when it comes to that. All I'm saying is that I believe what I believe. and that's not going to change. Am I going to add that point of view to the show? I'm going to try not to. Like I said, I wanted to put my thing out there because that is who I am. As far as making it a part of the show, no, I don't think that it should be a part of the show, but I wanted to have discussions in the future about religion in the LGBT community because I think it's very important to have those conversations. But I wanted to put my stance out there so that people who will listen to the show in the future will already know my stance. You will know my stance, and that's not going to change. I'm not going to apologize very often for things that are said on the show. If you want a description of what this show is, you need to go to our webpage. It's littlegaytalkshow.com, and there is a little thing that says that we are idiots sometimes on this show. We are idiots. Sometimes we say idiotic and stupid things on this show. But you have to grow. And all I see are people who argue back and forth with each other, but nobody believes in growth. Nobody believes in solutions. All they believe is you're stupid, we're done. Nothing gets solved, nothing gets done. So I'm really tired of both sides of that argument. And what I'm looking for on the show is that when we do talk about issues, we're looking for solutions. I'm not looking to hear your point of view. I'm not looking to hear he's stupid, she's stupid, they're this and that. I'm not looking for that. What I'm looking for is solutions and fun and having a good time and getting to know people as people. I think we forget that is that sometimes people are just people, and we need to be more empathetic when it comes to that. People are just people. People just wake up in the morning and just try to do the best that they can every day. And I think it's important that we have those discussions and we have fun having those discussions. So like I said, I didn't want to make this a long thing because I wanted to exactly tell the audience what's going on when it comes to the show, kind of give you an update. I'm looking to hopefully have the show back on. I'm thinking mid-March. I will have an announcement beforehand to let you know that we will, and I'm going to call it season 3. Why not? We've had a season 1, we've had a season 2. So season 3 of that Little Gay Talk show will be back, but it will be back in mid-March, and I will announce a date weeks beforehand of when we're going to be back. I'm going to take some personal time to get my head together, to get myself, to put my feet on the ground and do what I need to do. My next goal is to get rid of the alcohol once and for all. I think we're done, and I think I'm announcing that on the air. I think we're done. I had a great time for years. I was Mr. Party Boy for years. Life of the party, that kind of thing. But at 52, it's not fun anymore. I think it's fun when you're in your early 20s. And I don't have a problem with people who drink at all. None whatsoever. I'm glad that you have the control to go out and have a good time every now and then, but you get home and you take care of the things that you need to take care of. And, you wake up feeling fine and everything. You take care of yourselves. And I think that's a good thing. I think that because of my situation, growing up with 2 parents who were alcoholics, one who was deeply, heavily involved in drugs and alcohol, has made me started to understand and think about what my life is. And yeah, so I'm basically declaring on the show that alcohol is done for me, 100%. Whether I do it myself, whether I go through a program, whether I do whatever, I'm going to spend some time doing that. And I'm also going to be, like I said, taking time to just be myself for a while and to figure out what the next thing is. I want everyone out there who has a goal, who has a dream, who has a thing that they want to do, that they've always wanted to do. I don't want you to give up on your dream, because I'm not giving up on mine. And I want to make this 100% clear. I'm not giving up on mine. But I think that sometimes you need to step away and take a look at what's happening. Why are things not working? Take a breath, kind of like waiting to exhale. If you need to know what that is, go back 1,000 years to the 90s. Little movie with Whitney Houston and Angela Bassett and a couple other people I don't remember. You can always look at it, Waiting to Exhale, look it up on IMDb or Google it, one of the two. And there was a scene in the movie where all the ladies just, they go through all their stuff and then they just go, they just exhale. And then they open their eyes, look at their lives, and then they move forward. And I think that that's what is happening here, is the fact that it's time to move forward. So I'm going to spend time learning to move forward. I want to go back to having fun on this show. I want to inspire new ideas and new friendships. I want to bridge the gap between in certain issues. I also want to have serious and certain conversations with people about certain issues where everybody doesn't lose their shit about it. Because I think the one thing that people do in this society right now is they lose their shit in a second. And it's okay to disagree with people, but it's not okay to want to see someone destroyed over it. I'm not going to, like I said, there were a couple of things that I need to put out there. I'm not going to apologize for anything that's being said on this show. It was said. You can agree or you can disagree. But I'm not going to apologize for things. But I'm going to use humor as much as I possibly can, because I think humor helps set the stage for talking. And I think having a humorous talk show where we can still talk about serious things, but still at the same time laugh with each other is what makes us human. And I think it will bring out the humanity in people when people can sit around and talk. So I'm going to end this episode by saying, I want you to listen to all the episodes of That Little Gay Talk Show. You know, we started off as Joel and Randy's Texas Tea, and we did that for almost a year. And Miss Randy and I had a great time. And like I said, I wish Randy the most wonderful life on the planet. I think that the life that she really set for herself is the life that she should have and the life that she chooses to have. And I think that we are two people who, I think it took both of us to understand this. We're two people going in two different directions, and we just needed to go in our own direction. And it ended with a little bit of anger, and that's unfortunate. These things do happen, but I don't regret anything when it comes to that. And I had a wonderful time with Miss Randy, and I wish, like I said, I absolutely, you guys, I'm sorry, you have to forgive me. There is, when you have an upper respiratory infection, it is a bitch. You have mucus literally coming out of everywhere. And I didn't want to delay the show any further than I already have. I've already been miserable for the last few days, just laying up on the couch, sleeping. The first couple of days, all I did was sleep. I mean, I was so miserable. I could barely breathe. I could barely move. And all I did, I came home and I tried to get in the bed. Never made it to the bed. I just literally just took all the pillows and just slept on the couch for the last couple of days because I couldn't move. I was so tired. I'm slowly getting my strength back. I'm back to about 75%. But I still have stuff coming. I still got stuff coming out of my nose. I still got stuff coming out of my throat. So, which by the way, this is a gay talk show. Usually there's stuff going into my throat, never in my nose, never in my nose. So don't go down that road. Oh, I'm sorry. If I'm putting anything in my nose, it's usually a nasal decongestant. So no, there's none of that happening. But I look forward to seeing you guys again. And like I said, when I am sitting behind a microphone, I picture myself talking to all of you directly, to having conversations with all of you directly. So if you have anything you want to say, if you have any advice, any ideas, any of that stuff, while I'm on sabbatical, you can still go to littlegaytalkshow.com, and you can just leave messages, what have you, and I'll get back to each and every one of you if I can, and I will listen and I will read your stuff. And when I do come back, I don't know how I'm going to come back. I don't know if I'm going to come back with another host, with another co-host. I don't know if I'm just going to be the host and there will always be guests on the show. Like I said, we'll work that stuff out while we're on hiatus. But I do promise you this, that Little Gay Talk Show will be back on the air. Never give up on your dreams, but sometimes take a break. Take some time to think about what you want to do, where you want to go, and where you want to take it. Because sometimes so many people can be talking to you and giving you advice and whispering in your ears, and you can't sleep because all those voices keep telling you you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you need to say, shut the fuck up, let me breathe, and I'll be okay. So for everybody out there, like I said, I'm Joel Tatum, and you guys have a great, great afternoon, great time doing whatever it is that you love to do. Take care of yourselves. My gay brothers, especially, y'all need to take care of yourselves. We don't take care of ourselves enough. I think the things that I learned growing up as a gay man is that I always thought that we were the nurturers. We were the ones that were always there for our friends. We were always, looking out for everybody else. And we forget we need to look out for ourselves. That we need to do some self-care. We need to look out for ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. Sometimes you need to say no to things. Sometimes you need to let that relationship go. Sometimes you need to put that bottle down. Sometimes you need to take that needle out of your arm. Or sometimes you just, if none of those things are happening, sometimes you just need to talk to someone. You need to find someone to talk to, whether it's a friend or a professional. You need to get out there and do that because you matter. You matter. And there are so many forces that constantly beat us down for being who we are. So many forces. And we get beat down sometimes. Sometimes we get down on ourselves. And find someone, anyone to talk to. Find, even, like I said, you can even go to our webpage. If you just want to express whatever you want to express, just go there and express it. I'm here for you. Also, don't mind if you also said that you would want to be on the show and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Because like I said, that Little Gay Talk Show is an open forum for all my lesbians and gay. I'd like to have a few more lesbians on the show. That would be wonderful. And people of the other BGTQIA plus 124. My non-binaries, my transes. I love you all. And this show loves you all. We might get it wrong, and trust me, we do get it wrong. But it's about growth. And if you listen to our first few episodes, we were at the height of idiocy. But I feel like that we grew, and then we became idiots again, and then we grew a little bit more, and then we became idiots again, and then we grew a little bit more. So I feel like the show is just like being a person. You do the best that you can. You learn as much as you possibly can learn, but sometimes you're going to make mistakes. So, like I said, I'm Joel Tatum. Enjoy your life. And we will see y'all again on the flip side in mid-March. I promise you, in mid-March. I know that I've said this like several times. I will be putting out an announcement when this show will be back on the air. And what we'll be talking about when I get back on the air. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and that is going to be interesting. But you know what I'm going to do for a little while? I'm going to catch up on some Netflix. I'm going to play video games. I'm going to maybe read a couple of books, and I'm just going to take some time for me for a little while. And I will be back. So we'll see you.